Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Donald Trump is one of the only guys in the so-called West and the good guys, because we are the good guys by default as long as we follow the orders. So he's one of the few, you can put Orban too, which still is on the West, who really treated Zelensky as he deserves, as the weasel that he is, as a little tool of other bigger interests. That's what he is. Why? Because they didn't bother to talk to him. They disqualified him, and you also have but he's not in the West, obviously Xi Jinping, and obviously you have Putin. They don't talk to this guy. And why? You don't talk to children. I mean, maybe they want to discuss something with you, but you're not ready. There's nothing that we can talk. I'm going to tell you a little story about my father, if I don't forget by that time. I'm old. So Zelensky tries to get Trump in a conversation. He's like trying to draw his attention. I'm here, excuse me, I'm here. Yeah, sir. He's coming. Excuse me, sir, Trump. Hey, sir, I would like. That's how Zelensky is. Hey, hey, excuse me. And Trump just keeps going, being busy, doing important things. And Zelensky is a weasel. And Zelensky dies not because Trump disagrees with him, because Trump doesn't pay attention to this guy, ignores him. I remember when I was a child, what's going on here? When I was a child, one thing that, I mean, my father told me a lot of things, but anyway, one of them was the worst pain that you can inflict on someone is just, don't talk to that person. Don't bother to discuss anything with that person. Don't pay attention. Don't discuss it. If you know, instead of reacting, what is going on? Instead of reacting and getting involved in their little yelling match or try to argue with the imbeciles, and you know it's an imbecile, you can't do it, then don't even bother. I'm all for communicating with people, but you have enough understanding of how the world functions, or to understand the person in the first 5 minutes. You should be able to know how that person is. In a proportion of about, I would say, 90%. You should know how that person reasons. Ask him 2 or 3 questions, that's all. 5 minutes, and you should be able to figure out what kind of person that is, how he thinks, how he reacts. So Trump doesn't need more than that. I think Trump knows people. Not knows people, understands people. Maybe not. I think Trump, and I'm not here to bash him or anything like that. He's a big boy. I don't have to defend or anything like that. I think he's got his ego, I think, is too big sometimes. And with ego is easier to to sneak into his favors, or maybe he's just doing that, but actually he knows exactly what time it is and he's just doing it, and you think he doesn't understand, but maybe he is understanding that. I don't know. So let's go back here. So we have here Zelensky, who proposes to Trump that Zelensky wants to go to front with Trump so that he sees reality of war. Now, someone told me something, well, now you see how things are over there. I don't need to understand things only when I do those things. So I don't have to understand how windy is outside just by looking down the window. Or, understand what cold is if I'm not outside. I'm not an animal. I can understand. I have the frontal lobe. I can, think differently, put it in the abstract, and so on. I can imagine. I don't have to. I've never been on the moon, but I saw some guys. I saw some movies, and they are kind of like that, bang, 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 bang. So I can imagine what the feel could be. I don't have to really be there. It's true. If you're not there, you might lose, obviously, certain things. But I don't need to, I don't know, see how it is inside, because I've never been inside. I have been inside over there. I don't need to go in that particular. You know what I mean? I don't need the direct experience to do certain things. Now they tell them here that, hey, you need to see the reality of war. Turn on the television. Oh, no, it's not the same thing. It's like you have let's say, a cancer doctor. He couldn't possibly cure you because he doesn't have cancer. Is that the logic? So actually he doesn't know anything about the cancer because he doesn't understand cancer. He doesn't have cancer. So why does Trump have to go to the to the front to see what. I tell you what's going to happen. I said this many times. The weasel, which is Zelensky, will take Trump, will get him at Bucha and other locations, will show him, we're going to tell him that is the Russians, the evil Russians, and after this going to say, see, if you and your people don't give me the money to distribute here to fight for you, it's your fault. Each and every person that dies here is your fault. So it's again blaming, shaming, creating guilt. Trump doesn't want to go through that. He was another guy who didn't want to go over there. It was the former minority leader. It was majority leader at that time. Majority leader, what wasn't it? McCarthy? He said, I don't need to go to Kiev to see war. I know how it is. I can understand it from here. Another guy who smacked, but he even dared to answer the idiot. So again, you need to come over here. He's not a retard. He doesn't have to go and live by an animal. The animals are like this. I don't know if you are familiar with, let's say, deer, with the deer population. You have a fawn and you have the mom. The mom is not going to say, hey, deer, little fucker, I'm going to go this way. You better follow me. Otherwise, I'm going to give you a hoof between your eyes. And the fawn is going to be, yeah, mommy, I'll do that. Psst. Okay, it's not going to work like that. That's how they do. She starts walking and the imbecile follows. The imbecile doesn't follow. The deer goes on. Is like, where's the imbecile? Comes back. Hey, again she leaves. Again comes. Does this a few times until the imbecile gets it and follows by direct example. And then the guy goes over there. We humans, we explain things. Hey, outside is cold. You know how it's called it? When you feel like a shiver, something like this. That's how when you're cold, you feel a kind of pain. We can imagine, you can think abstractly and not only. So again, spare me with, now you know how it is. No, I can imagine. And besides, you don't know my experience, my personal experience. So maybe I know how it is. The same with this guy. I'm not saying that Trump knows how he hasn't been on front line, but it doesn't have to be on the front line. To understand what? Zelensky was not on the front line. He was in some buildings. He saw something. Okay, this means okay, good experience, fantastic. But you don't know how much you understand. I had a lot of people who tell me this, well, I have this, my connection, communion with God. You don't understand. How come you don't know how come you think I don't understand? Because I don't do what you want me to do? Maybe I understand more. And I can tell you, actually, he spoke to me and he told me you're an imbecile. I've done this many times with people telling me that, you know what, you don't, no, he spoke to me. They cannot unprove or challenge that he spoke to me. I'm just bullshitting. I said, no, actually, wait, right now he's talking to me. He said, this imbecile, don't talk to him, tell him I said 10 push-ups. Hey, he said you should do 10 push-ups. He just told me. He cannot verify if really. He can say, it can't possibly because you're not a believer. Yeah, but you see, the estranged son, those people, how God showed to Saul. Remember? Saul? Remember? He was an unbeliever. He said, Saul, why do you whatever me? Well, see, he shows to unbelievers. And he spoke to me. You don't believe me? And if he's a believer, he has to believe me. Because if he says, no, I don't believe you, well, you're going to meet your God when you get over there. He's going to fuck you up when you get over there. The same here. Kind of. You don't know how much this guy understands. The same when people say, he's wise. Why? Because he's old. If you didn't work to get wisdom, you're an idiot. You lived a long life as an idiot, longer than others. Now you can live like this time and maybe know more than someone who lives this much. It's true, certain things come with age, but if you don't pay attention, they just go by you and you don't get them. You don't analyze them. You don't ask questions. So the same here. You don't know how much Trump thinks, and you assume that you know better because you were over there. Some people can explain certain things better than others, even if they were put in the circumstance. Take the example of a child and a teacher. We can put a child in a certain circumstance and say, now you tell me about that, what happened over there. And the child will analyze it maybe from one angle. And the teacher, even if he was not over there, he can understand it from different angles just because of the experience. Anyway, Trump is one that this guy is begging for his attention. And now, supposedly, he is scared of Trump's second coming. No, he's not scared. You know why? Because Trump is not going to be in control. There's going to be some others that are over there for years before Trump showed up on the political arena, and even before that, much back in time. So Trump is going to come over there. He's going to say something. The guys are going to say, yes, yes, we're going to do it, sir. Yeah, get out of the room, and they go back to doing what they do best: ignore him and do their little, how do you call it, bureaucratic job. That's what happened before. That will happen again, and that's always going to be like this. Why? Bureaucracy and the guys with the guns dictate. Always. Unless you're really a retard with a gun. Emil, give me the gun. Here. Now, yeah, obviously. Now you got a gun. And still, the guy with a gun will win. But anyway, it's not the case here. These guys are very intelligent. Very, very, very intelligent. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Intelligence. They're very intelligent.